Oh, welcome back to the What on Earth podcast. Once again, there is only two speakers and the man that works in mysterious ways in the background, Brian.
Yeah, if you're watching the video, then I've got the text channel up so Brian can still speak in some way at least. Where on earth is everyone else? He says.
A good question. Would you believe me if I said having other lives outside of a podcast?
We only do it like once every week or once every 2 weeks,
Uh,
and sometimes we skip them.
it's busy. Life is busy.
Yeah,
Just because you don't have a life.
yeah. Imagine not having a very busy life.
Now, before we dwell on that for too long, how about we actually start with the first topic of this episode of the podcast?
What was the first topic again? Oh yeah,
Oh,
the
this is
Switch
great.
2.
Yes, the Switch 2. The
I,
Switch
I
2 and
need
I guess
I need to
general
switch
Switch shenanigans.
I need to switch to attention span that is better than that of a cocker spaniel.
Mm, that's offensive to
To
Cocker
cocker
Spaniels.
spaniels.
Yeah, so anyway, recently, or I guess it could have been a while, I don't know, I've only heard about it recently, it's been said that Switch 2 has been delayed until next year. To be honest, I didn't even know it was possibly even coming out this year.
Yeah, I
I
didn't
thought
even
they were
hear
just
it
going
was
to milk the
announced.
first one for all it was.
I didn't even hear it was announced, and then like there's suddenly talks of it being delayed. Like when was it even announced?
It's,
How was it delayed yet? It didn't have a release date.
it was announced, but only in Japan, maybe.
Probably.
Hmm.
Or maybe it's like with the Easter eggs on Opera GX, where the Australians find out about it 12 hours early.
Oh, Legend, so it's never officially been announced.
When how can it be delayed? Or is it just something people.
It's rumors, it's leaks, it's the internet. Everything gets around ever.
Yeah. I was about to say, is it a case of people are just saying it's delayed when it's not really?
Yeah, so it's been, we'll say, speculated. Then is that the that's probably the legal term we can use for this, even though it's not like anyone's going to go after us for this. No one watches these. It's been speculated that the Switch 2 would be releasing early next year, but some people have narrowed it down to possibly March, and that would all be to avoid shortages in, I guess, the final product, as well as probably trying to avoid like a PS5 situation where half the hardware isn't there,
Yeah.
because that was an absolute nightmare. Thank you, coronavirus.
I didn't actually hear about that, but what I did hear about was people buying all the PS5s and then like selling them for huge
Mm.
markups.
Yeah, it was
I
due
guess it
to
makes
a
sense. It kind of makes sense for them to avoid the same thing with the Switch 2.
yeah, it was due to a lack of, I think it was processors
Probably.
for the consoles, obviously because the factories, I guess, couldn't really work.
See, what you do with like big consoles is you just make absolutely loads of them, and then instead of shipping them out all at once, ship them out bit by bit, so that way there's a steady supply, and it will always leave like potential scalpers thinking, oh, that's the last of them, I'll buy them and then sell them because people will have to buy them from me, and then no, there's just more in the shop soon.
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like they lose money from it because the scalpers will keep buying them, so they just make even more profit
Mm.
if anything.
I recently did see a story. I think it was like a Reddit forum or something. It was someone saying they used, I think it was eBay, and they quote unquote bought six PlayStation 5s from a scalper, but withheld the payment for like 6 months.
Nice.
So they just kept telling eBay that, yeah, I'm going to buy it. And then eventually the price just dropped anyway, naturally.
Oh,
So
so
the
the price.
scalper lost like a 1,200 quid profit.
No remorse. It's a scalper.
Yeah, so I'd say that is absolute genius.
Oh, hang on a
Well,
sec.
we have been graced with some knowledge. from the man behind basically all the articles we view on this.
Yeah, I'm just showing the thing on the screen, but Nintendo is advising game publishers that its next generation console will be delayed until the first quarter of 2025, according to people with knowledge on the matter. The successor to the popular Switch was scheduled for release in late 2024, but several game publishers have been advised of a delay by the company, according to people who asked not to be identified since the news hasn't been announced. Nintendo's 7-year-old Switch has sold over 132 million units and is approaching the end of its life cycle. The company has been tight-lipped about any potential successor, but expectations had narrowed to this year's holiday period for the release of the next generation. News of the delay was reported earlier by the Video Games Chronicle. US representatives for Nintendo didn't respond to requests for comment.
It was Reggie, wasn't it? He doesn't even work there anymore. He's leaked it himself, I bet.
It makes sense that they don't want to, provide, comments on the situation.
This has Fizame written all over it.
A bit of a tangent, but I don't get what it is with companies and just not telling people things. Like, even if it's nothing bad, just why'd you keep everything secret, like?
It's because someone will use it to just speculate massive things. Or, yeah, good point, Brian, competition.
Yeah, I guess it is, like people to, spread slander and that, so fair enough.
Yeah, like Brian saying, if you announce your console has this, and this, like a competitor will go, oh, well, our console can do this, and this, and that.
Yeah, fair enough. Where's the hype, though? Actually,
Hype is
I guess it
probably a
is.
bad thing.
I guess it is a bit early for, like, hype for a potential Switch 2.
Hype isn't always a good thing.
Yeah, but a lot of the time it's good.
Yeah, let's point it out there. Thank you, bro. Hype will be when the direct drops, which we are also actually going to cover a slight speculation of.
Mm-hmm.
Now, usually we have quite a big Nintendo Direct around the time of the now dead E3, because that's when all companies decide to, I guess, show a bit off. Hopefully, it's not just another one of the indie Directs. Or a mini Direct. Possibly we might get some news of a Switch 2 at the Direct. But,
Maybe.
what else do you think might be involved?
I just want to say, was the, Pokemon Direct a mini Direct, as it's known?
That is a Pokemon Presents. That is a different thing altogether.
Oh, okay. But is it considered, small compared to a, big Nintendo Direct?
I mean, it's not really a Direct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know it's its own
comes under
thing,
its
but
own.
I'm trying to do a comparison. I mean, thinking back to when Sora got announced for Smash, that was a fairly big Direct, I think. But anyway, what I was getting at is if the, recent Pokemon Presents was, smaller comparatively, then maybe the next thing would be a big Nintendo Direct. If you get what I mean.
Yeah, but...
Because they're not going to have, two bits of major news, one after another. They'd, space them out a bit.
But the Directs don't have to correlate to the Pokemon Presents.
I know, but it's Nintendo, isn't it? So...
Yeah. Pokemon, it's Nintendo.
I mean, I'm not saying they're the
from...
exact same thing, but they do have correlation, is what I'm getting at. Oh, apparently they don't have as much runtime as Directs anyway, so I guess...
Well, there's less news. Yeah, so what do you think is going to be at this Direct, then, maybe? This potential Direct that could happen at any time now. Could happen tomorrow.
So you want me to take a hypothetical guess at what could be in a hypothetical Nintendo Direct?
Yes, because
Haven't
speculation
got a
makes for
bloody
great content.
Scooby. Haven't got a bloody Scooby, mate.
That was some excellent input, thank you.
It's a hypothetical Direct. I mean, I'm sure if I had a hypothetical brain... Never mind. I was going to say, if I had a hypothetical brain, maybe I could provide hypothetical commentary on a hypothetical Direct. I get speculation's good, but I don't really have much to work with, do I?
But now you've just basically said your brain is hypothetical.
It's more like I backed off because I thought you were going to say something along them lines.
Alright. Never fear, because Brian is always the backbone of this podcast. He's the one that gets us out of the crap every time.
What's he just posted the
Metroid
spoiler?
Prime. Metroid Prime 4, that has been in the works for at least 5 years, it feels like, at this point.
Only 5.
Has it been 5? Maybe even 6? I'm trying. It's been around 5 or 6 years, I think, since it's been announced. I don't know.
What we should do one time is like a different form of defo battle where instead of who was winning a fight, it's which game is going to be released first, and it's like Metroid Prime 4, Elder Scrolls 6, bloody Hollow Knight Silk Song, you know.
That's just never coming out.
Or Silk Song, or
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls.
Silk Song, it's just never coming out.
I think both of them are never coming out.
So, Metroid Prime 4, I'll be honest, I'm quite new to the Metroid Prime series. I played the remaster, or was it like the remake or something, and that came out, I believe, last year. I found it pretty fun, but
I've
I don't
only
really know what was in like the second and third game, so I don't really have much work on
I
in Prime
played
4.
like
I'd be excited for it though.
I played like a tiny bit of the original Metroid game and like a little bit of Metroid Other M. Wasn't really a fan of either, to be honest.
Is Other M the like quote unquote bad one?
I think it's seen as bad. It's the one that came out on the Wii. I didn't
I think that was a
stop.
few, wasn't it?
Well, I didn't stop playing it because it was bad or anything. I just stopped playing it because I couldn't figure out what I was doing.
Yeah.
I actually. Funny thing is though, I don't like Metroid and I don't like Castlevania, but I love Metroidvanias.
I think that's just called picky.
I suppose it's the same as I don't like eggs on their own and I don't like flour on its own, but some cakes I do like.
But have you considered it's because a cake has other ingredients?
It's not my best metaphor, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I'd be, now I've played a bit of Prime, I'd say I'd be pretty excited about any news.
Well, yeah, I know you're not supposed to have flour on its own. Maybe that's why I don't like it on its own. You ever considered that, you muppet?
Are you saying you don't like it from first-hand experience of having flour on it?
Thankfully, no. Well,
So
actually,
how do you know you don't
in
like it on
fairness,
its
when
own?
I've been like making cakes or something, like with me mum when I was a kid or in like cooking class in high school,
You just saw that big bag of flour and thought, what if?
no, I ended up with it on my fingers and ended up like licking it off.
uh,
Do you guys actually think I'd just be eating like raw flour?
actually, you could be up to anything. I would make a segment and say, speaking of flour, maybe a Pikmin 5 or something, but no, Pikmin 4 only came out last year. They're not going to go straight for a 5 already.
What
Pikmin 4 was an absolute masterpiece that took many years to cook up.
What do you mean I could be up to? Never mind. Yeah, I don't think they'll make Pikmin 5 anytime soon.
No. Although I wish they would. No, I'm happy with Pikmin 4. I still need to 100% that, I think. It's been ages.
I've never actually played any Pikmin games, to be honest.
Oh, you need to. You need to play Pikmin. It's great.
Which one's the cheapest one?
I mean, you can get 1 and 2 in a bundle.
Which is
They're all on
cheap?
Switch.
Okay, I'll look into it at some point.
Or, just
So, like, what else?
definitely don't get an emulator.
Yep.
Nudge, nudge.
Cheapest one is the dolphin version.
Definitely do not look up how to emulate it online. Because that's bad. So you shouldn't
Yep.
look up Pikmin 2 ROM hacks or anything else while you're there.
We here at What on Earth podcast do not condone the use of emulators such as Suyu, Desmume, and Dolphin. We think that Nintendo is completely justified in trying to take this down.
And you definitely shouldn't look up any footage of Pikmin 261. Definitely don't do that. It's definitely not a hilarious game.
Yep, do not do anything of the sort. Okay, now that Nintendo isn't listening, please help.
I don't think they were listening anyway.
I was making a joke, you muppet.
But can you imagine? I think our response would be, "What on earth?"
Huh.
I'm so funny. Uh,
Emulators are good.
mm. Anyway, back to
Nintendo
any
ninjas are everywhere, Brian says.
Reggie is.
You mean the Ninja Tendos?
No, that doesn't really work. I can see where you're going for. It just doesn't really work. Now, could we see?
Why do I bother?
I was going to say, could we see any Mario-related content in the next Direct? But we did recently have Mario Day, didn't we?
Yeah, we had like Mario Wonder as well, so I don't think we'll get anything
Yeah.
Mario related for a little bit at least.
I mean, I'll say we recently had Mario Day. It was like a 5-minute
Well,
video.
let's think about which Nintendo IPs have not had anything like major for a while. I know Tears of the Kingdom was like a year ago at least now, but I think that's still a bit soon, especially compared to how much of a gap there was between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
There'll be someone out there saying F-Zero, so we'll say it on their behalf.
I don't think there'll be anything F-Zero related. Like, I'm sorry, but it's just dead now.
The most
One thing
recent
I
thing
am.
was that
Oh,
F-Zero 99, was it called?
oh, I didn't see that. The blue balls on Miyamoto if he had to hold a Mario game announcement on Mario Day a few months before it could be announced. Well, one thing I am hopeful for actually is potentially a new Kid Icarus game. Because,
I
like,
had a feeling you'd say that.
yeah, well, Kid Icarus Uprising was amazing, and, like, that's not just my opinion. I've basically never heard anything bad about it, and I've only heard good things from people that have tried it. And, like, I enjoyed it. But,
I'll be
also.
honest, I've never played the game.
Oh, you have to.
Hmm. I
I'll,
mean,
I'll tell
physically,
you
I
what.
don't.
I'll tell you what. I'll try Pikmin if you try Kid Icarus Uprising.
They're like DS games, though, right?
Kid Icarus Uprising's a 3DS game. Anyway,
Don't
back
even
to
know what
the
a DS is.
potential for the Direct. Sakurai was actually the one that worked on Kid Icarus Uprising. Like, when he made Smash Bros. Brawl, he was looking at IPs and he noticed Kid Icarus, so he redesigned, like, Pit and Palutena, kind of, and put them in the game. Like, Palutena wasn't playable, but she appeared in a cutscene. And then, like, after, all of that was done, he was like, why haven't we done anything with Pit for a while? He's interesting. And then he, like, asked Miyamoto if he could make a Kid Icarus game, and he got the all clear. And then we got one of the best games on the 3DS. So, like,
Speaking of Sakurai,
now that Sakurai's done with Smash Bros, that means he's potentially available for making a new Kid Icarus game. So, fingers crossed.
do you reckon we may see something Kirby related?
Maybe. When was the last time we got a Kirby game?
It was
It was
Kirby
Lost something, wasn't it?
Lost World, was it? Forgotten Lands.
Forgotten Lands, that was it.
Lost World's Jurassic Park.
Oh, yeah. Kirby turns
Kirby
into a
Forgotten
Velociraptor.
I got Kirby and Jurassic Park. That's a game I'd play right now.
Not gonna lie, I don't really have much interest in Kirby or Jurassic Park, but even I'd play that as well.
So, Kirby
It'd be like turning into a dinosaur in Mario Odyssey.
Kirby Forgotten Lands came out quite a few years ago now. I want to say at least 2.
I think it's like
21?
just under 2 years or something.
Just under 2, is it? So like
I
early
think so.
22.
I don't know, maybe. But like, how long is the gap typically between Kirby games?
See, that is interesting because I believe
I'm not saying
Kirby's had quite a few free games on
Yeah.
the Switch as well.
I'm not saying there's necessarily like a pattern between them, but if there is, some kind of pattern, there's something to consider.
Yeah. Okay, so Forgotten Lands came out in 2022. I believe. I'm not 100% sure of this. I believe the game before that was it like Triple Deluxe or something?
I'm not sure.
Possibly. On 3DS, I don't think there was another Kirby game on the Switch before Forgotten Lands. If you want to check that for us while you're here, Brian. Good research for you. There's your homework for today.
Oh, Kirby and the Forgotten Lands came out on 25th of March 2022, apparently, so Just over 2 years, actually.
Hmm. 25th. Oh, Star Allies! I completely forgot about that. And
Oh
that game
yeah.
was so fun as well. Yeah, Star Allies. So that's like a 4 year gap. I reckon there's potential we might see something Kirby related. But then again, if it's got 2 games on the Switch.
Why isn't Kirby's Mass Attack on there?
I don't know. That's like yeah, it is. It's probably just cut off.
All right. Oh, it's a
Yeah,
big messy
as you
list
can see, the
apparently.
list isn't in order.
Mate, I used to play Kirby Mass Attack on like the DS for the short time I had it before I lost it. I think I dropped it down the side of one of the seats in my dad's old car, like right before the car got sold.
I thought you were going to say you dropped it down the toilet for some reason.
No. But yeah, Kirby Mass Attack was an amazing game.
We could also, I suppose, we might see more news on the which Paper Mario game is getting remastered.
No idea.
Is it like the Thousand Year Door or something? Yeah, dead on it, Thousand Year Door. We might see a bit more news on that because I'm pretty sure it was basically just the announcement that happened on Mario Day. One thing we can't rule out right now though is Smash Bros.
Well, we seem to have Kirby games announced every year, with the exception of like 2013 and 2021. Looking at like, the past 10 years.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure one thing we can say for the rollout is Smash Bros. Since that is
Yeah.
like 1 game per console.
It's one game per console, and like, what with Sakurai being done with Smash Bros, they'd have to find a new developer.
Yeah. Oh no, we'll definitely see another game, just not until the Switch 2 came out. Because that's usually like a launch title as well, isn't it? Because everyone loves Smash Bros.
I don't think we'll actually get like another Smash Bros game, at least not for like time, like a really long time. Because I mean, it would be inferior to Smash Ultimate unless they were able to get like permission to use all of the third-party characters, which will take God knows how long.
I mean, if you start trying to get the permission before you make the game.
Yeah, I know, but like, imagine if they started like when Smash Bros had stopped being updated. They would probably still be waiting on permission to, have all the characters put in now, and then they would have to start working on the game, and yeah, it would just take ages. People are saying we've had FA for Switch games. What's FA? Oh, right,
Therefore,
I see. Because they're going to start dropping on Switch 2 now. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
that would make sense. Oh, that's an idea. As a Fire Emblem fan,
Yeah.
do you reckon we might hear something about a new Fire Emblem game? Would you be excited for that? I don't
Oh
know
yeah,
anything about Fire Emblem, so
I'll be excited for a new Fire Emblem game, yeah.
yeah, you can
I
take the
mean,
stage.
like, I'm not the biggest fan because I only played, like, not including the mobile game, like, 3 games, so I'm not, like, an Uber fan or anything, but
You know more about it than any of us here. And then there's, I swear, there's got to be one like massive Nintendo title that's just jumping over everyone's heads. There. There's going to be one. I know it.
either Donkey Kong or Yoshi, maybe. I know they kind of fall under Mario, but they've got their own franchises. Well, yeah, Pokemon Legends
Oh yeah,
ZA's already been announced.
yeah. Maybe we might see. I doubt we see gameplay of it yet, but I guess maybe a bit more time
Wouldn't
for
that be on, like, the Pokemon Presents, though?
it. It depends.
I mean, I guess it's not impossible. I just
I
wasn't
mean,
mentioning it, though, because we've already had news about it recently. In fact, how quick was the news from? Sorry, how quick was it between like Scarlet and Violet being announced and then seeing like more news on it?
good question. I feel like it was kind of announced. I feel like it was just announced and then it was dropped. I don't remember any like significant news happening in between.
It's very depending on the Pokemon game. All right then. Well, yeah, there's what haven't we talked about yet? I'm not gonna lie, I doubt that it would be like ice climbers or anything like that.
Or like Star Fox.
Oh yeah, there is Star Fox actually. That could be a possibility.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of everything in Smash Bros.
Oh yeah, same.
It's like, oh.
Like I guess with ice climbers though, like that is a sort of a underrated. Well, I don't know if it's underrated because I don't know like how much it deserves to be loved because I've never played it. But
Imagine a Game and Watch sequel.
oh yeah.
That'd be great. I feel like
Well,
they have
anyway,
that in practically just the idea of WarioWare, though.
did you know that they had like a bootleg Game and Watch thing in Kingdom Hearts 3?
No, because I don't play Kingdom Hearts.
All right.
I mean, you can tell me about it. I'm just saying, I've never heard of it.
Well, long story short, you had to find QR codes, and Sora has to scan them with his rip-off smartphone thing. I'm not making this up.
And then do you scan one and it's just a rickroll?
Uh, Unfortunately, no. But
Oh,
it's like Game and Watch style games. Well, anyway,
where's the one where he
back
just like
to
flips a frying pan?
I think there is one actually, but back to like oh, Brian said, yeah, that's amazing.
That's what I'm going to start saying from now on.
Yeah,
Anyway, I'm just going to say Game and Watch.
those four things are my to-do list every single day. So anyway, like ice climber
That is
stuff.
brilliant.
Yeah,
I knew there was a reason you were here.
yeah. So anyway, back to like ice climber stuff, and you know other like underrated Nintendo IPs. It would be cool, no pun intended, to see something from one of them.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any, like, I guess what you'd say is like an underrated Nintendo IP because I feel like they're just weighed down by like all the massive ones. I can't think of them.
I think the problem is we're just thinking about who's in Smash Bros. And we're not like able to see beyond that.
I'm just trying to think. Oh, I'm trying to think of like other ones as well. Anything on like the Rob system, I guess. that's that's how obscure I think.
Wait, Rob was a game console?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, he was he his own game console or was he like an accessory?
probably an accessory. Oh, I thought you were talking about Sengoku Basara for a second. I would love for Sengoku Basara to get like. Well, I don't think it could have a sequel, but like a port.
I was going to say, would you care to enlighten us?
Sengoku Basara. It's like a game in a similar style to Dynasty Warriors, based off of like feudal era Japan. It's basically kind of like Samurai Warriors, but a bit different. Like that game's design really, you know, held up against the test of time.
Sengoku's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh, for God's sake! Wait, Sengoku Basara was the one that you and I played one time. You know the one where you were playing as
Oh,
like
that thing we played on like PlayStation once.
yeah on the PS3. You were the guy that sits on a platform who can go wee with Mario Kart wheels,
Oh, I remember like 5 minutes of that now.
and that 5 minutes is just entirely you doing Mario Kart with Yoshitsugu.
Yes, the Mario Kart man. Did he have like a big hat or something?
He had like a samurai helmet looking thing, and he was wrapped in
Yeah,
bandages. Damn, I need to like get a PS3 emulator to play that.
My dog has decided to enter the room.
Oh, does he have anything to say for the podcast?
Let me ask him. Hey, Luca, do you have anything to say to the podcast?
Roof.
Oh, you can't say that. That's controversial, take.
Roof.
He says he thinks Kid Icarus is mid.
Oh,
And on that note,
roof. We are all mentally stable.